Yes, the PowerPoint one. I'll just show you the pictures. Some 3 years back, I got involved in farming project in the Congo. I bought 2 plots. I bought 2 plots in the outskirts of Kinshasa. And the name of the plot is Shalom Place. I'll explain the meaning, why Shalom Place. And then 1 plot is in Mitendi, just the outskirts of Kinshasa on the way to Bakongo. Another plot is in Lower Village in Kasangulu district. In Shalom 1, next slide please. In Shalom 1, we've concentrated, it's 4.4 hectares. Current activities, we are having a small-scale poultry. Okay, we are also having some rabbits, some quails, and vegetables. On Shalom 2, that is quite big, 42.8 hectares. We are growing maize, cassava, and vegetables, and also palm oil, but at a small scale. Next slide, please. Why we call it, we've got some challenges: equipment, infrastructure, and access to funding. Opportunities is our own plot, and then we are also participating in the community empowerment. Yes. But it's not easy, because whatever activity we've done, the funding were coming out of our own pockets. And sometimes, we went through, like now you can see the chicken. Some other times we had a problem, an epidemic that just broke. And then I remember losing something like 400 within 3 days, 400 chicks. And then there's no compensation because there's nothing, the government is not funding such project. We call it Shalom Place because in our vision, on the 4.4 hectares, we would like also to have an orphanage. Since we are doing this poultry farming activity and agricultural activity, we're gonna also teach the community how to do it, how to next slide please. Yeah, that is, we are going to deliver some chicken that have been ordered. Here we're doing some bricks, because I have built two rooms.
I've recently really spent a lot of time trying to figure out alternative ways of raising fundings for high-scale project. The kind of project I'm going to talk about right now are multi-million, or at point sometimes as well, multi-billion-dollar project, which are all across Africa. I'm going to talk about 2 today. There's many obviously, but I mean, with the time that has been given to us, we don't have the opportunity really to be able to talk in great length of all these projects. One of the fundamental issues that we've really had about raising capital is to identify the right source. We all of us know that we have so many great ideas, but at the same time, we don't know who are the right people we need to be able to talk to for us to get access to the funding we deserve. And the alternative sources of funding is a reality that the commercial funding option is never going to be able to give us. Yesterday here we have the World Bank, and we have the Chamber of Commerce in Canada, but certainly we have many access as well to getting funding from high net worth individual and many other people as well who, to be quite honest, don't even need that money. They have access to trillions and trillions of dollars, but they also need people like us to have access to projects so they can actually put their money to good use. And I was quite excited to be brought here today to meet the panel and be able to discuss opportunities about linking projects to funding, because there's funding definitely in many places. Let me focus on talking about the first one here. This particular project belongs to an entrepreneur who is a South African medical practitioner. His name is Dr. Walter Ward. So I am directing him, and he's approached me to be able to tap into my sources in raising capital for him. He owns a piece of land in the Limpopo-Waterberg area. And that land is so huge, just over 1,200 hectares. And out of this land, 362 hectares will be dedicated to building a new town, a new city in the northern Bergov area. If you've been to Sun City before and you know how Sun City is huge, the concept is similar to Sun City, but ultimately much more bigger. And he calls that the Royal Victoria Lifestyle Estate. It will be surrounded by four different farms, and people, individuals will have the ability and the opportunity to be able to see live animals as well, depending on how the city will be built. Excuse me, if you can scroll down, please. This is a 14 pages really executive summary, but obviously with the relevant parties here, as an African people do require. Whether it is in South Africa, we have a lot of issues with energy at the moment. Whether it is in the DRC, we've got quite a huge hydro power plant that is doing almost nothing, but has got capacity to do so. We have opportunities in Ghana right now to be able to build this. Now, this is a project of a good friend of mine, not too sure if he is here at the moment, but we're working together to be able to raise the capital required for this particular project. For all three phases combined, it will be close to $1 billion requirement. The Ghanaian country has projected that in 2016 they should be able to raise about 5,000 megawatt of energy. And this is because, based on the growth they've been able to identify over the past few years, they realize that with the increasing amount of resources and increasing requirement for energy, they need to be able to have at least 5,000 megawatt by 2016. And right now, I think they have
apologize to say that there's some sensitive information that we have to keep. And just I will discuss with them about them with people who are concerned. We have a project that we'd like to do in the DRC, in the mining sector. You know, that country is very rich in minerals, and not even just minerals, but in all sorts of resources that God has endowed it with. But you find that people are very poor. In staying in a country like this one, those of us who got the opportunity in the 1994, we came and we saw some other places. I just take an example of the road that moves from N1 that moved from Johannesburg to Pretoria. In the middle of that road, we could only see the bush. But today, it is very difficult for you to tell someone that this is Pretoria, and that is the demarcation between Pretoria and Johannesburg. Things are moving, so we cannot stay, enjoy the good bread, brown bread and white bread, that I grew up without knowing what is the difference, but we enjoy the milk every day. When I go back to my country in an official mission, I find that things are still at square one. So we would like to take the advantage of things that we've learned and we've seen, and those other things that we participated in this country, and transfer them to the other side. So I discovered that there is an opportunity in the mining sector that we can use in other places, allow, as I said, sensitive information. And then we can develop the community, develop the basic infrastructure with the mining companies that are already implemented there and that are operating there, with the support of the government, because we have access to those people. As I said, when we go in official meeting, we meet those high-ranked people. They've given us the ear and they've allowed us to negotiate on certain ground. So we would like to talk to those who can link us to the financial sources so that we can add value to the communities where we come from.
Amen.
The second one is in agriculture. As we all know, most of the countries that developed themselves started by the agriculture. You process the product of the farm, we call now agro-processed goods. You take this product to the market, you sell them, they produce many other things, and at the same time they give you certain earnings that can develop the infrastructure, develop the human being through education, that can give you an opportunity to put health care, how can I say, places where people can receive attention for their health, all those sort of things. These are things that we learned at school. We've seen them happening in this country. Those linkages, those linkage effect between one activity to many others, and how the economy has multiplied. We have all those, we have that type of knowledge, we have our hands on, and we are able to go back and do that. All we need, and what is very important, is the financial means. When we have them, we will be able to display what we are capable of doing. That's what I can say. Allow me to limit myself
Thank
in
you.
that.
Thank